In today's video, guys, we are going to take a look at gold and a potential fake out ahead of FOMC. Okay, so looking here at the gold daily time frame, I talked about this one last week, and this area up around 1900 as resistance. Now, first of all, you can see that we do have a trend line off of these lows going all the way back here to November of last year. And this was an incredibly significant trend line for gold all the way back here, because this is really what allowed us to play the breakdown down here toward 1890 and also the bounce back here toward 1940. So if you guys are a VIP member, you'll know that back here, I was calling for something like this. In fact, in Discord, I even plotted out an arrow like this. This is exactly what I was looking for. Obviously, I didn't know that we would get such an extreme rally off of this area. But, you know, all in all, it played out really nicely. And so far, the market has come into some resistance up here. However, we did have a Friday breakout last week. Now, a lot of people were celebrating this on Friday here because you can see that we have our trend line right here. Okay, we also have a horizontal level right here around 1980. Okay, so going back here to April, you can see a bunch of lows through here. The area flipped to resistance through here, and then once again through this area. Now, you can also see right before the breakout, this area was also serving as resistance. Now, this candle, this green candle right here was Friday. And not only was this a Friday breakout, which are prone to failing, but this was actually the last few hours of the week. Okay, so these green candles right here, okay, from about right here all the way up here to this high, this was the last 3 or 4 hours of Friday's session. So anytime you get a breakout like this going into the weekend, you have to be really, really careful because it does tend to be lower volume on Fridays going into the weekend, and low volume breakouts are prone to failing. Okay, now we can't yet say that this has broken down because as of right now, the market is still holding above this level here, right? Remember, this is our key area between 1980 and 1984. And so far, gold is holding above that. Now, the one thing that it is doing today, though, is it is at risk of closing back below that trend line from November of last year. Because remember, we got the close on Friday above this, we got the close on Monday above it, and if today closes below, then this area flips back to resistance. All right, so I'm watching this very closely as of right now. We do have FOMC tomorrow, so I'm not going to trade this ahead of FOMC. What I'm looking for is potentially something after FOMC. Because if we get today closing above this area, but below this trend line, then I will be looking for a possible short from up here. Otherwise, I will wait to see if we do get a sustained break below this area, right? Retest as resistance for that sell-off. Now, I'm not necessarily bearish on gold, but I do think, like I said last week, I do think that it's only a matter of time before we get a liquidation event to sweep some of the liquidity that is built up here along the way. All right, so you can see that this green candle right back here, right? There was never really a retracement of this. And this is also right there at a very key area for gold, right? We never got a retest down here. The same thing really can be said for candles like this and this area right back here, right? So pockets of liquidity have built up here. And I do think that it's only a matter of time before we see gold rotate lower and tap that liquidity. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar and see what's going on there. And if you guys are enjoying this content, be sure to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon for notifications. And one thing too, guys, I am running a Halloween special. So through November 2nd, you can get an additional 25% off lifetime access to our Discord group that includes daily videos, exclusive chart setups, and the ability to see my trades in real time. So see the link at the top of this video, guys, or the link in the description of this video. Okay, so looking at the DXY, if you guys saw the video that I put out recently, okay, and I especially told members about this in Discord, I put out a Sunday video for them talking about this area down here, right? And the reason that I was interested in this is because, like I've said many times before, you can see how we got a big green candle right back here, okay, in a very shallow retracement. Now, the market came into some resistance up here at these highs, and following this rotation lower, I was looking for a move down here into this area to fill in some of that liquidity, all right, to sweep that liquidity that had built up based on this big green candle back here. And sure enough, that's exactly what we got today, right? The market also bounced right here from this short-term trend line that I've talked about. All right, so a very aggressive bounce here, but you do have to be a little bit careful because today is the last trading day of the month. So be careful with these moves. A lot of times these moves are more administrative and not conviction driven. All right, now the reason that this matters for gold is because the dollar and gold do tend to move inversely to one another. Now, at the moment, you can see that quite clearly, gold really hasn't cared about the dollar. But then again, like I said last week, if you look at this entire rally for gold, this started back here in October. And if you look at the dollar, right, for all of October, pretty much the market was sideways, right? This is when October started, and you can see how the dollar has just been sideways. So if this right here, if this consolidation does break out to the upside in November, right, following the rally that we've had, if the dollar were to do something like this into November and start to break out, then that could start to weigh on gold, okay? Because, again, this entire rally for gold has occurred while the dollar is sideways. So keep that in mind. If we were to get a dollar breakout, and gold does something like this, closes above here today, and then through the rest of the week does something like this, tomorrow, and then we finally get a breakdown as the dollar is breaking higher, then that right there could be the perfect storm. All right, so I'm in no rush here. Again, I'm not bearish on gold, but I do think that at some point we are going to see it come down here and sweep liquidity. All right, so that's it for today's video. Be sure to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon for notifications. And don't forget to, through November 2nd, you can get an additional 25% off lifetime access to our Discord group. See the link in the description of this video. Trade well this week, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.